All right, we just picked up some hose. See if we can replace that. Got new 13 mil so that we can get that starter off, and some clamps for the hose. So hopefully that is why it's idling rough. I mean, it definitely seems like it, but I guess we'll get back, slap all this together, and we're gonna find out. So stay tuned. I got the truck up on our ghetto ramp that we made, so we can get under there and fix the starter, because it wasn't starting. And then upon some further research and some rough idling, we've noticed this guy down here. Definitely seen better days. So we picked up some hose and try to replace that. We're gonna go under here. We're gonna get that starter out of there. 30 years old. I've already been trying. I cannot get the bolts off, so I went and grabbed another fresh 13 mil. And we're gonna try again. We've been soaking in WD-40 for a couple of days. And while I was down there, I did notice over here, there's quite a bit of coolant leaking down. And my coolant, I've been having to top it off quite a bit lately. So eventually we're gonna check that out, but right now we're just gonna mess with this hose and we're gonna do this starter, see if we can't get this guy back to run and prime again. Then we can come clean up this engine bay. It's 30 years old. I bought it a year ago. I haven't had time to do really anything to it. I've driven this thing about 6,000 miles up and down California, and then another 4,000 just doing things. But I live up in Oregon, and now I'm down here in SoCal visiting, and perfect timing for some issues to get taken care of. Since it's a stick shift and my parking brake only works on one side, I went ahead, slapped that under there. It is in first gear, so it'd be kind of difficult for it to roll down, but you never know. I guess it could roll forward too. Maybe we'll throw one in front, but really not too worried about it. I'll give you a quick look underneath. So there's your oil drain plug. Here's some coolant dripping down from somewhere up there. There's a starter right here. It's 1, 2, 3 bolts and a little plug that's bolted on, but it's 30 years old, so it doesn't want to come off. We've got Shane's ramps coming in here with the muscles. Try to crack this starter bolts because I can't do it. Alright, some YouTube videos said crack the top one first. I can't crack the top one first. I was able to crack this one. Now just working on those two. Well, 30 years. It's gonna take some tries. Alright, now we got this one cracked loose and this one cracked loose. We gotta do this top one and then take off that other little nut that holds the plug in on, and then just slap that new one in there. Alright, I got 2 of them. Shane's gonna try to get that third one. Shout out to Shane's ramps. All this extra wood to build a sweet truck ramp. I'll see if he can get this bad boy off. Get it, get it. Alright, so we got the 3 bolts cracked loose. 1, 2, 3. Now, we just have to get up here and take this bolt off, which connects the electrical. We unplug this from here. This is a 13 millimeter up here also. So all 4 bolts are 13, so at least that part's easy. Now let me get that off real quick. Alright, we got this sumbitch out. It's pretty heavy, a lot heavier than I was expecting, really. Got the new one right here. Do not remove this lead. Crimp and heat to existing lead. Okay. I wonder why. Is it just because it won't pop onto that? Oh yeah, there's the old. 30 years old. And there's the new. Now we're gonna try to get this in. So this is a refurbished starter, 175 bucks, plus a $40 deposit for this guy. So we're definitely gonna bring that back. Now let's put this on. So we're gonna get this guy back up in there. Now what I read is you want to put it on, snug the bolts down, and then make sure this is like correctly popped in there, or else it will not work right. So we're going to take our time and do this slow and make sure it fits good. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Starter ignites, has a little gear in it, gets that gear spinning, and the truck's fired up. You're running down the road. So we have to actually cut the tip off of this wire and splice it to this new one, and then use like a lighter, probably what we're gonna do to make that shrink down onto it. So fun stuff. Fun stuff.
If I don't get it something like that.
All right, we got the new one bolted in. 1, 2, 3. Oh, good job. We got our little BMX star showing us how it's done over there. So we have to crimp this to this. So I need to get some wire strippers and cutters. Put those together. This guy up here attaches right there to this top one. It's all 13 mil. They gave you a new bolt up here. Just keep that in mind. I saved my old one, but I didn't need to do that. All right, let me get the wire strippers and let me get this going. We gotta crimp it. We crimped it. Now we just got to hit it with the lighter. Yeah, this lighter's not working under here. I'm gonna have to use 2 hands. You get the idea. All right, we got the wire crimped on. We melted that down. I just gotta take this bolt off and reattach this wire. And then as far as the starter, we're done. Just drop that bolt right on my face. Great. Let's hope I can find it. We just gotta slide
Here you go.
that on.
What's right here?
Thank you, buddy. Got my little helper there. All right, put that on here. Put this on. And the starter is officially done. We've replaced it after 30 years. It's gonna be good for another 30 years. These bolts ain't coming off for 30 freaking years. All right, let me get my 13 and just tighten that down. And then we'll check back in on the top and finish working on that air hose, which I think is the problem with the idle. So just gonna break that off. That's a 30-year-old hose, looks like. We got a fresh one right here. Just gotta make sure it fits. Wow, that thing's beat. All right, we got our extra hose. So I guess what we're gonna do is try to slice that so we can pull the rest of this hose off and then get it measured out. Cut a little bottom piece to go on here and then cut the top piece to go on right there. So wish me luck. First time messing with hoses. Can't be that hard, right? Put that in some. All right, that was easy. So this should be a piece of cake. Take that off, put that on. Alright, we got the old hose off of here. It's actually clogged. You see there's some stuff in there, which I'm not surprised because it's basically just been open for I have no idea how long. But we're going to clean that out, get this new hose attached, see if that fixes our rough idle. I mean, I'm no mechanic, but when there's a big hole in a hose and it's missing, I'm going to say that's probably the problem. So let's do this. I think we got a hose that's just a little too big. This is like a 3/8. I think we need the 5/16. I'm gonna head back to the store, get the right hose, get this project finished up, get this Ford MF and Ranger back on the road. So I just went to the store, got the proper 5/16 hose, cut that section for the top piece, cut this section for the bottom piece. Now we're gonna attach that to there, put that on there. So this attaches, if you can see it, right there. That's supposed to go on that. And then the other piece goes into here. Don't know why this valve is part of it, but we're gonna put it back how it came. So I just realized I made this piece too short because I forgot this has to go all the way to there. And the other piece has to come in there too, so I'm gonna cut this probably twice the length. So I realized it was just easier to smash them on when they're full length. That we can get them to kind of stretch out a little bit. Now, we just have to put these guys, slip these on. One on this side. And we're gonna put one on this side, so we don't have to worry about that stuff falling off. I am holding my phone. Oops. With my neck. Hands free. Oh shit. Let's try that again. Alright, so we got these on and tightened. Now I still can't really understand why that's there if all I'm doing is putting a hose from here to there. This was on the bottom half, so I'm just going to put it back how it was. But someone that knows what they're talking about, want to drop a comment and let me know why that's even in there. If all I'm doing is connecting point A to point B and there's no valve or anything in here, it's just open. It's not like it does anything. It's not a one-way. So if you got some information, drop a line. All right, so it's the top, there's the bottom. We've got the piece cut, so it should fit in there just right. Now I just gotta slide one of these on there and hook it to the bottom part first. And then once that's secured, we're gonna slide another one onto here and get this hooked back into there. And then we're done. This thing should be idling smooth. Should be smooth sailing, Cherie. Alright, we've got it on there. Now we're going to try to get in there with the screwdriver in this nice tight space that we're working with and get this bad boy strapped down. Alright, we've got that all secured. Now we just need to get one more and then put that on, tighten it down, and we should start it up and this should be running smooth. So let's pop this on real quick, put this camera down, get right back. Okay, we're back. I'm actually gonna do this with one hand. So I'll just get that to go all the way on. Back in the day, I don't know what they did. I don't know if this was more one piece or if they used, I don't know, but there's none of this on this side, and there wasn't one of these originally, but I'm gonna put one on just because I'm not trying to have anything come loose on me. Gotta do a big old trip. I had 12 Bowers, 12 hours back up north to get home. So it was running bad all the way down. Starter went out on the way down. Fixing all them problems now. Get back out of here. All right. It's on there. Everything's on there. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Grab the keys. All right, so we put a new starter on it. Fix that hose. Now, all right, so if it starts, starter's good. And then if it idles good, we fix that problem too. You know, it's probably a good idea if I go reconnect the battery. Forgot that we took this off. Okay, let me tighten her down. I know it's a little dirty, a little corroded. It's old. But it works. All right, moment of truth. It's idling. Started, that's good. And it's idling. Totally normal. I would say problem solved. It's revving a little high. Back down. Now when I started it up earlier, it was like it did not want to start, or did not want to stay alive. But it's weird, when I put it into gear and start driving, the problem goes away and it would drive just fine. So I actually I did a 12-hour road trip like that, and who knows how long that's been that way. I don't know, because it's been rough idling, I noticed, just a little more and more lately. So that's good, we got that problem taken care of. Next up, not today, we're gonna figure out why we were leaking so much coolant. So that'll be another day. But I'll say we did it. If you got that leak, check these hoses. Mine was obviously had a huge hole in it. Yours might not. Now I really gotta clean this thing up. But awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Let me know if that helped. So I've got a lot of help from YouTube over the years. I guess we can start putting some videos up, spreading that knowledge back around. Oh yeah, got a nice exhaust leak. But I really don't care, because where I live, I don't have to smog nothing. Man, that's leaking a lot more than it did. Still doesn't sound perfect, but it sounds a heck of a lot better than it did, and it's running pretty quietly. Not bad for 30-year-old engine. Just gotta clean up all this dust. Maybe that'll be another video. Now we just gotta take the starter back, the old one, get our $40 deposit refunded to us, and then yeah, got 40 bucks. I don't know, it still sounds a little rough, but it's completely night and day difference from how it was. So I don't know. Under here, I don't know, it sounds rough under here, but then when you come up here, it sounds good. So I'm not sure what that's about. Could just be the exhaust leak. I don't know if you've got any ideas. These things are 30 years old. There's probably people with a heck of a lot more experience than me out there in the YouTube land. If so, let me know what you think. So it's still a little funny. Okay, so letting the clutch out in first gear is when I really noticed it the most, until today when it was just doing it idling, which it never did before. So let's see. We're gonna go real slow. That was good. So that was definitely a part of the problem. That might not be the only problem, but that was the one with a huge hole blown in it, and that hole's fixed. So we're gonna return this core, go get our money back, and hope it stays on the road. Yeah, it feels pretty good. It's just that taking off in first gear, it was chugging along, and then now it's good. So here goes another dead stop. Oh, hold on. We got e-bike kids. Not sure where they're going. I don't think their E is working. Looks like they're pedaling their bike. All right. Perfect. Beautiful. Back in business, baby. Doesn't take any hands to drive a 94 Ranger.